guys, welcome back, or if you're new here, hi, my name's Alyssa and I make all sorts of videos all about beauty and fashion and lifestyle and pretty much anything under the sun that my little noggin thinks of. So if you enjoy anything about my channel or today's video, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my uploads. So for today's video, we are talking about the Sephora sale. The day that I'm filming this, the sale started yesterday, Friday the 17th. So I figured that I would just go ahead and come on here and tell you guys some of my favorites, some of my recommendations, and things that I think are a good buy to pick up during the sale. I do this video pretty much every time the sale comes around, even though I don't talk about makeup too much on my channel anymore. I did want to keep doing this video. So let's just go ahead and dive right in. I have quite a bit of stuff to cover this time, and I'm pretty excited about it. So to break down the sale and the dates and everything, if you're Rouge, you get 20% off starting the 17th until May 1st. If you are VIB, you get 15% off starting on the 21st through the 29th. And then if you're just the basic insider, you get 10% off starting the 23rd until the 27th. So, and for all of them, the code is SPRINGSAVE. I will have all that information listed in the description box below if you prefer to look at things like I do. So let's just go ahead and dive right in. Basically, my thought process when it comes to this Sephora sale is this is the perfect time to, one, restock on your favorite things that you know you just go through like crazy, and two, it's a great time to pick up things that you normally wouldn't spend the excessive amount of money on. So things that are like real expensive, this is my favorite time to go ahead and pick those items up that I've been wanting to try. So let's start with the non-makeup items because I just have a couple, and then we'll dive into all of the makeup that I have to recommend to you guys. So first of all, I think that this sale is the perfect time to splurge and pick up a full size of your favorite perfume. If you know that there's like one scent that you love, now is the perfect time to get the full size and take advantage of that scent. And then I have 3 skincare products to talk about. The first one is my like holy grail moisturizer at this point. This is the Kiehls Ultra Facial Cream. I love this stuff. It is so moisturizing, so like lightweight, doesn't leave a really greasy feeling, but just makes my skin feel so plump and soft and like baby skin. It's amazing. It doesn't really have a scent either, which is really, really nice. I also really enjoy the Drunk Elephant La Retro Whipped Moisturizer. I really like that one, but it's way more expensive. And I've just been loving this one, so I figure we'll stick with this one for a while, but I just love this so much. For an eye cream, I don't like to use the eye creams with like a ton of like actives or a ton of claims or anything. I just like a good moisturizing eye cream because I do get really, really dry under eyes. So the Clinique Pep Start eye cream has been my go-to for a couple of years now. It's just really nice and basic. I do need a new one because I am like squeezing out the excess down here, but I just love this stuff. It's just really nice and basic and does the job, and it doesn't like burn my eyes or give me any sort of like milia, because the skin under your eyes can be so thin and it's really easy to actually break out if you use something too heavy, and this does not do that because it's really nice and lightweight. And then the third skincare product I want to talk about is the Farmacy Honeymoon Glow Serum. This is one of the few serums I have tried that I can actually see real results from fairly quickly. It is an AHA resurfacing AHA resurfacing night serum. Why is that so hard to get out? This can be pretty powerful, so I don't recommend using it on skin that you've like recently picked out or that's broken, because how does that hurt when you do it? But I really, really enjoy using this. The only thing I would say as well is if I use it too often, like more than once or twice a week, it will break me out. So I have to be very, very strict with using it because my skin is not a fan. Oh, actually, I did have one other thing that I wanted to mention. I don't have it here in front of me because I am restocking on it in the sale, but the Dermalogica Micro Exfoliant Powder, I'll put a picture up here and I'll link it down below, as well as all of the rest of the stuff. I love that stuff. It is a physical exfoliator, but it is so gentle and it just really buffs all the dead skin off my face. If you're not aware, I do have really dry skin that does break out, and so I have a lot of dry patches and love that stuff. So just want to put that out there that I really enjoy that powder. And then now let's jump into all of the makeup, because boy do I have a lot of makeup. So let's just start in the order of how you would use it, I guess. The primer that I want to talk about isn't even really a primer, to be quite honest. This is the Bobbie Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. I just have the mini here. I love this stuff. It is so moisturizing. It smells lovely and like citrusy. I don't think it does anything for like makeup longevity. It certainly doesn't fill any pores or anything, but it is so moisturizing and just gives you a little bit of glow to your skin that I think is just really nice under pretty much any foundation. It just gives you a nice base of excess moisture, which I am always looking for. I typically don't reach for any sort of primer that's like glowy, like specifically like glittery glowy or anything like that. I don't really do pore filling or anything in that like range of things that has a purpose. I just prefer something that is an extra layer of moisturizing, so I really have been enjoying this one. I have two foundations I want to talk about. The first one is my Holy Grail foundation. It is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I have used this for years. I have talked about it for years. It has shown up in pretty much, I think, every single one of my Sephora recommendations videos. Like I love this foundation so much. It's so nice and full coverage and just looks beautiful on the skin, even when I do have those like dry patches or pimples or anything. It's beautiful. It's amazing. Love this. I do wear the shade Swan in it if you were anywhere near my skin tone. By the way, I am using most of the products I'm talking about today, so that's on my face. And then the second foundation, I don't know that I've actually talked about on my channel. It's kind of a mix of all these products, or things that like are holy grails I've talked about way too much, and things that I've never mentioned before. So the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Hydrating Foundation has been so amazing. This is actually the foundation I'm wearing right now in the shade 120. I love this foundation. I think it just looks so smooth and nice and medium coverage. You can build it up a little bit, but you really can't get full coverage out of this, which I appreciate. Sometimes I don't want the insane like block out of the Too Faced foundation, and this one is a great option for that. It does cling to dry patches a little bit, but I don't think it's anything terrible, and it just doesn't sit really heavily on the skin, which I love. I just love something that's a little less coverage and just sits really nicely. This isn't obviously quite as light coverage as like a BB cream or anything, but it's kind of a great middle ground in case you don't really like either of those extremes. So I've really been enjoying this. For concealer, I have been just obsessed with the Benefit Boing Cakeless concealer. This stuff is amazing. I love it under the under eyes. I think it looks amazing, but I also love using it as an all-over foundation, which sounds wasteful, but it is one of my favorite things to do when I'm running late, when I'm going to work and I just want like a really light coverage, light thing that I can just throw on and I'm out the door. This is amazing. I put a good bit under my eyes, I put a couple on my red spots and my pimples, and I blend it out with either a dry sponge or one of my brushes, like this one by Real Techniques, and it is just flawless coverage that looks like your skin but is a little put together, and it's really great coverage. It's not super dry and cakey and gross looking, but it just looks nice under the eye. Another like skin product that I wanted to mention is the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin Powder. Holy moly, you guys, everyone is talking about this for good reason. It is amazing. This powder is magical. I thought I was gonna hate it because it is that matte powder, but it is so thin. It just sits so beautifully on the skin. It is matte and it does kind of like match you out, obviously, but I feel like really easily you can change it and make it work for even the driest of skin. And I just really, really love it. I love it on its own. I love it as a setting powder. I am wearing it as a setting powder today, and I just think it adds that extra bit of coverage that I sometimes want, without adding a ton of like cakiness or anything, which I love. And I wear this in the shade R210. The other powder option is also from Makeup Forever, and this is just their Ultra HD Micro Finishing Loose Powder. This stuff I've talked about for years. It is my holy grail powder. I use it under my eyes. I use it to set my eyelids. I use it all over when I don't want the coverage of this one, and I love this stuff. It is so smooth. It doesn't add any sort of cakiness or powderiness to the skin, but it really sets it really well, and I don't get oily like through this powder, so I love this stuff. The next product I want to talk about is the Nars Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. There's not much I can say about this, so I'm just going to make it quick. It's really great. It keeps my oily eyelids at bay. This is just the like clear white version, so it doesn't have any color. I think they do have like 1 or 2 colored versions, but I just love this stuff, and it works really, really well with my insanely oily eyelids. And it doesn't work like weirdly with any of my eyeshadows that I found so far. While we're on the subject of eyeshadow, I did want to mention, again, like I said, this is my favorite time to pick up those items that I just think are way overpriced, that I would never pay full price for. So 2 of my favorite brands to do that for eyeshadows are Melt Cosmetics. I love their eyeshadows. I think they are phenomenal. They are so smooth, especially their mattes, but they are pretty expensive, so this is a great time to pick up some of their eyeshadows if you've been interested in them. This is the Gemini palette, and then the other brand is Viseart, however you say it. These palettes are beautiful. These shadows are insane, but so expensive, like $45 for this palette, I think is what I paid, or like $38 or something. It's insane. So this is a great time to get a sale on them. So this is the Rose Edit. I think this was a fairly new launch for them a few months ago, and I love it. It is actually what I'm wearing on my eyes today, though I'm sure you can't even tell because I did such a basic natural look. And then I also have the Theory Cashmere palette, which is a cool toned 6-pan palette. And I have the Theory Nuance palette, which is a 6-pan, more of a little rosy tone situation, and these are all like shimmers, which is fun. And I just love the packaging for this. It's like a little gift that you open up, and I just think that's so cool. And you're basically paying for the packaging, but I think it's really nice, and they all do come with a mirror, which is always an added extra. So definitely check out some of those more expensive eyeshadow brands. Natasha Denona would be amazing at this time. Just anything that you're like, you choke on their full price. Maybe check them out now when you can get 10 to 20% off on them. Another brand that I think you definitely need to pick up during the sale is Hourglass. Hourglass, I love their powders. They are fantastic, whether it's the bronzers, the blushes, the setting powders, anything. I just think they are amazing, but so expensive. So I do have 2 palettes that I just pulled out real quickly. This is the one that I really wanted to mention to you guys because I've had this for years, and I basically stopped talking about it on my channel because they discontinued it. This is the Ambient Metallic Strobe Lighting Palette. So it has 3 highlighters in there, and they just brought it back for a limited time only, and it is available in the sale at Sephora right now, and I just love this palette. This is one of my absolute favorite highlights ever. It is natural but glowy, and just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful on the skin. So I love this palette, and I just think it's fantastic. You do have 3 different colors. Personally, I think all 3 of them work on my skin tone, and I'm wearing the middle shade today if you're curious. And then the other palette I want to talk about, I don't think you can actually get anymore. This is the Ambient Ghost Blush Quad that they came out with during the holidays, but my thoughts on their blushes stand for any of these singles. These blushes are amazing. They are my favorite, hands down my favorite blush. They are so glowy, they look so natural, and they just sit so differently on the skin than any other powder blush I have. I've just never experienced anything like it, and every time I use a different blush, even if I love the blush, I always wish that I had just grabbed this one, and I usually end up taking one of these and popping it on top to just give it that like glowy, lit from within, healthy look that no other blush can give me, in my opinion. So I just love Hourglass blushes and any of their powders, really. Okay, we are coming to the end, I promise. The next product is the Benefit Cookie Highlighter. One of you guys actually mentioned this to me in one of my declutter videos, because I had said that I was looking to pick up a new highlighter because every once in a while I just get bored with the stuff that I have, and I'm so glad I listened because this highlighter is amazing. I have not been able to stop using it. It just looks so beautiful on the skin. It's definitely a lot less natural than like the Hourglass one, but I love it. It does have a little bit of glitter in it, in my opinion, so if you have super textured skin, you might not like this, but personally, I just don't care. Like, I have skin, it's gonna have some pores and textures in it. I don't try and hide it. And then the very last product that I wanted to mention to you guys is the Bare Minerals Invisible Bronzer Powder. This is in the shade Fair to Light. This is probably my all-time favorite bronzer I have ever tried. It just looks so natural on the skin. It doesn't look orange whatsoever. It is a little red tinted, but I think that just works really, really well with my skin tone. And like I said, it is just the most natural looking bronzer I have ever found for fair skin tones. So I love this powder so, so much. It's really easy to apply, really easy to blend in, and it never looks choppy or like you just have like a stripe on your skin like some bronzers can. So that is everything that I wanted to mention today for the Sephora VIB sale. Let me know down below if you are shopping it at all and what you're picking up. If you are, I would be very, very curious to see what you guys are digging right now. So I hope you guys liked today's video, and I will catch you in my next one. Bye guys.